you very much, everyone. Good morning. Well, really, I think all I'm going to do here is just basically tell you my life story. I'll tell you my life story that happens to be the life story of an entrepreneur that a lot of you will relate to. But I'll relay my life story about how I became an entrepreneur. Because I think as our businesses grow with the challenges we face, we all have to go back a bit to how we started. We all have to go back a bit to the entrepreneurial habits we had at the beginning. So I'm going to tell you the habits I had, which I'm sure a lot of you used as well, just to sort of almost reactivate those habits, which I think is what we all need in this current climate of doing business. But just before I tell my story, so hands up those of you who, like me, consider yourselves entrepreneurs. Fantastic. And hands up those of you who, like me, consider yourselves a tiny bit entrepreneurial. Well, for those of you that didn't put your hands up, the reason I always ask this question is I never ever thought I was an entrepreneur myself. When I was growing up, the image I used to have of what a typical entrepreneur was, there was just about one entrepreneur in the whole of the UK, and that was Richard Branson when I was growing up. And so the idea was you'd sort of compare yourself to Richard Branson and think, well, there's no way I am like Richard Branson. A, I didn't make my first million selling sweets in the school playground. B, I didn't drop out of school in some controversial way. Richard Branson makes you feel like unless you dropped out of school, you're a complete loser with sort of no creative ability whatsoever. I didn't make any money selling worms to my parents, anything like that. So instead of becoming an entrepreneur, I went off and I became the opposite of an entrepreneur. I went off and became a